the disturbing gods Roman soldiers prayed to before battle. Picture this. You're about to march into battle with the world's most feared army, and you need divine protection. Do you pray to gods of peace and love? Hell no. You pray to a goddess who decides when you die, sacrifice humans to ensure victory, and wear magical jewelry to scare away evil spirits. Welcome to Roman military religion, where superstition met slaughter and soldiers literally carried death goddesses into combat. When your shield bears the symbol of death, look at a Roman legionary's scutum, shield, and you might see Jupiter's lightning bolts, pretty standard for the king of gods. But you might also see something weird, a spindle. You know, the thing ancient women used for spinning thread. Why would hardened warriors put sewing equipment on their battle gear? Because that spindle belonged to Decima, one of the three fates who controlled every human life. Picture three supernatural sisters. Nona spins the thread of life, Decima winds it on her spindle, and Morta cuts it when your time's up. Roman soldiers didn't just respect Decima. They turned her into a weapon of psychological warfare, that spindle on your shield. It was a message to your enemies. My goddess has already measured your thread. Your death is inevitable. The human sacrifice that purified cowards. But here's where Roman military religion gets truly dark. Decimation. You've probably heard the term, but do you know what it actually involved? When a legion disgraced itself, fled from battle, lost their eagle standard, or committed mass desertion, they didn't just get punished. They got purified through human sacrifice to Decima. Every 10th soldier, chosen by lottery, was beaten to death by his own comrades. This wasn't just brutal discipline, it was a religious ritual. Romans believed they were offering the goddess one life out of 10 as payment for the shame they'd brought on their unit. Think about the psychology. Your fellow soldiers are literally sacrificing one of their own to a death goddess because you all screwed up. The survivors weren't just disciplined, they were ritually cleansed through the blood of their brothers. No wonder Roman legions rarely ran from battle. Gods for every tent and every sword. Roman military religion wasn't just about the big players like Mars and Jupiter. These guys had divine coverage for everything. Each legion had its own protective spirit. Each cohort had its own deity. Each century, 80-man unit, had its own divine patron. Hell, even each contubernium, the 8 guys who shared a tent, had their own personal god looking out for them. Individual soldiers could pick their favorite deity from the entire Roman pantheon, plus whatever local gods they encountered during campaigns. Stationed in Gaul, better pray to Celtic deities too, just in case they get offended by being ignored. Roman soldiers were like spiritual insurance salesmen. They wanted coverage from every possible divine source, the bling that scared away demons. And the superstition didn't stop there. Roman legionaries were covered in protective amulets. We're talking rings, chains, bells, carved stones, anything that might ward off evil spirits, enemy curses, or bad luck. They attach these charms to everything: helmets, armor, weapons, even the covers for their digging tools. A fully equipped Roman soldier probably sounded like a walking wind chime. Modern soldiers have dog tags. Roman soldiers had magical jewelry collections that would make a New Age crystal shop jealous. The corporate deities of military success beyond personal protection, legions worshipped abstract concepts that had been turned into gods. Virtus, courage, because you need divine help to charge into a wall of spears. Disciplina, because military discipline was literally sacred to Romans. Honus, honor, because dying gloriously was better than living shamefully. Pietas, devotion, not religious piety, but absolute loyalty to your oath, your unit, and your emperor. These weren't just ideals, they were actual deities with temples, priests, and sacrificial rituals. Romans turned military virtues into supernatural beings you could pray to for help. When emperors became gods. As the empire evolved, things got even weirder. Starting with Julius Caesar, dead emperors were officially declared gods. Living emperors were worshipped as divine representatives on earth. By the time of Septimius Severus, even the emperor's wife got divine status. Julia Domna became mother of the camps, a goddess specifically for military personnel. Imagine swearing an oath not just to your country, but to your ruler's deified wife. Roman military religion had become a weird blend of battlefield superstition and imperial personality cult, the foreign gods that conquered the legions. But perhaps the strangest development was how foreign religions infiltrated the most Roman institution of all. Persian Mithraism became hugely popular among soldiers, a mystery religion involving underground temples, bull sacrifice, and 7 levels of initiation. Why would Roman legionaries adopt Persian religious practices? Because Mithraism was perfectly designed for military life. Strict hierarchy, emphasis on courage and loyalty, male-only membership, and rituals that bonded soldiers together. Eventually, Christianity would sweep through the legions too. But that's a whole different story of how a pacifist religion conquered the world's most violent institution. The psychology of divine warfare. What's fascinating is how Roman military religion served multiple psychological functions. Terror. Enemies faced soldiers who literally believed they carried death goddesses into battle. Unity. Shared religious practices bonded soldiers together more than any training exercise. Fatalism. If the gods decided your fate, you might as well fight bravely since cowardice won't save you. Legitimacy. Roman wars weren't just conquest, they were divine missions blessed by the gods. The legacy of sacred violence. Roman military religion reveals something uncomfortable about human nature. People will use any belief system, even brutal, superstitious ones, to justify violence and maintain group cohesion. These soldiers weren't evil monsters. They were professionals doing a difficult, dangerous job, using whatever psychological tools helped them survive and succeed. If that meant praying to death goddesses and sacrificing their comrades, so be it. It's a reminder that religion has always been intertwined with warfare, and that civilized societies can embrace practices that seem barbaric to outsiders. What do you think? Were Roman soldiers genuinely religious, or were these beliefs just practical tools for maintaining military discipline? And how different are modern military traditions from these ancient superstitions?